Hey, good morning, everybody. Ron Hoon, Mike Pache, and we're about a minute or so away from Fox 10 Talks. Thank you. We got a lot of folks online. Mikey.
Yes, looking forward to it.
Ready to talk about all the big stories of the day, including what we learned about this deadly Barricade situation. Hey, oil prices are really down today. How long till the gas price comes down? Hope you can hang out with us, everybody. It's going to be a great hour. A barricade situation in one Valley neighborhood with some very tense moments, and we are learning more about it because it came to a deadly ending. It is one of our top stories this morning. Good morning, everybody. I'm Ron Hoon. Thanks for hanging out with us here on the 10 o'clock hour. We just continue the news, the information, but also the conversation. You can join the chat on YouTube, and if you're watching us right now on Fox 10, thanks for doing so. Also, really interesting information this morning when it comes to vaccines and our health and things like the flu and shingles. Dr. Mike was speaking to us about it just a little while ago.
When you get a shingles outbreak, you get a lot of inflammation in the brain, and you have that immune response, and that all is thought to cause damage and lead to cognitive decline.
Okay, all of that, plus also today on FTT, there's a new investigation into Lululemon activewear. I know a lot of ladies that love the Lululemon product. And what with this new investigation regarding possible questions about overall safety, we're going to have that story for you. Plus, what about the really shocking story? We told you yesterday there was a bad crash on the Black Canyon Freeway, the I-17, and that a young lady had been killed in it. Now we find out that her mother gets arrested after the 9-year-old daughter died in that crash. And then the heartwarming reunion of an astronaut and her beloved pet. It's all coming up this morning. One more thing, if you want to join the conversation, President posting an image of himself looking like Jesus. Are you offended? 48% saying, yeah, did he not think that would offend Christian believers? 47% say no, he posts outlandish things a lot. Not offended by this one. And 5% are saying he said he didn't think it was him as Jesus. I think he said that he thought it was more like a doctor or something. Anyhow, I believe him. There's the QR code, and you can join that conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Mike Pache here. Hello, Big Mike.
Hey, Ron. Always good to be with you.
Always good. You know, we coined the phrase not that long ago, Mondays with Mike, but Tuesdays with Mike are just as good.
Yes, it is. Yeah, a little bit delayed, but we got it.
There you go. It's like Monday plus 24 hours and we're hanging out with Mike. All right, let's get right into the news this morning and talk about some of these situations. We are learning a lot more. You know, Mike, our law enforcement people in this valley, this is, by the way, MCSO and local police responding, they literally every single day, they show up to work not knowing what neighborhood they're going to be called to or what situation they're going to have to get themselves involved in. But sometimes it can be incredibly tense. And, you know, I mean, there's a real element of danger.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And you don't know what's in the mind of the person that is in this home. They have been barricaded. You don't know what they're going to do next. And it's a total wild card for what the police and law enforcement are dealing with.
Okay, so here's what we know so far. If you're just catching some of the news. news. The sheriff's office, MCSO, said deputies and local officers from Queen Creek Police responded out there in the Far East Valley at about Sossaman and Santan Boulevard. There was a shooting that sent a man to the hospital with, at the time, they thought it was going to be life-threatening injuries, but then we learned later on from the hospital it had taken a bad turn. After the shooting, deputies say the suspect barricaded himself inside a home, and then following the initial shooting and contact with the suspect, an officer-involved shooting did occur. The suspect then rushed to a hospital where he later died. So, when you can just imagine. I think about my neighborhood out there in Mesa. What part of town do you live in?
I live in Queen Creek, so it's not far from where this incident happened.
There's so many new neighborhoods, and sometimes I wonder if people maybe don't even know their neighbors.
No, truly. No, that is like 100% true.
Yeah, and yet you've got this happening right on this block, and, the next thing you know, deputies say the guy's barricading himself, and so... we're still waiting for a lot of the details. How did they come in contact with the guy? Was he not complying? Did they have the bullhorn out there? Come out with your hands up? There's still a lot to learn, but the bottom line is at least one officer felt it was a life-threatening situation and opened fire, and now the guy's dead.
Yeah, and you don't know what the guy was screaming at the officers when law enforcement obviously wanted this person to get out of the home and just wouldn't.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we're going to keep a close eye on that one. We probably will learn additional details today. But once again, our members of law enforcement in this community responding to a very, very tense scene overnight. We're going to shift over to this story. Now, we had the pictures, and they were kind of shocking, I think, when we talked about it yesterday, because on the 12th, we had this situation where a car had rolled over on the I-17, and we see these rollovers that happen sometime. The cars are so well constructed, you would think maybe everybody got out of this situation okay. But then we learned that there had been a loss of life, and here is the woman in question. This is a mother of a 9-year-old daughter who, Mike, she's going to face manslaughter charges because they arrested her. Her name is Brenda Estrada. And they accused her of a DUI being under the influence of marijuana. I mean, we're more used to the DUIs. Look, we kind of zoom in there, and you can see the vehicle. They did completely shut it down, and I don't know if you ever got tied up in this particular traffic situation 2 days ago. This was on Sunday, but it was kind of middle of the day, and somehow there was this rollover. The situation is that her 9-year-old daughter was sharing a seat belt with a sibling, a brother or a sister, and she was the one that got ejected from the vehicle.
Oh, that is terrible.
It is just terrible. Now, the other kids survived with minor injuries, but you just have to be so cautious when you're driving around with your kids or anybody else's kids.
Oh, I know, and it just paints a good picture too of when you're out driving. Look at this was a Sunday. You're thinking, okay, it's going to be an easy, commute to wherever you need to go, and then everything goes haywire.
And I wonder sometimes if people think that if they haven't been drinking but they have been smoking some pot, that maybe they're in the clear.
Yeah,
but they have ways of measuring that kind of thing as well.
Oh yeah, I mean it's the direct opposite. A lot of people think, okay, I haven't had any drink. If I blow, I'm going to blow a 0. I'll be fine. They won't be able. But they tested. I mean, look at what happened to the Phoenix Suns guard.
Okay. Yes. All right, Mike, with a good point there.
Dylan the villain.
Hey, by the way, Syleste joins us well. Syleste, would you look at who we have as a surprise guest today?
Oh, my gosh.
Come on.
How did Big D make this happen?
Big D and Big Mike.
Dreams coming true.
Yeah, it's good to see you, buddy. How's life?
Oh, doing well. Doing well.
Yeah, how's the wife?
Oh, she's doing well. I think she's watching, too, today.
Oh,
yeah.
What's your wife's name again?
Nicolette.
Nicolette, good morning.
You guys are still in the newlywed phase, right? Has it been 2 years?
It'll
now?
be 3 years next week, everybody.
Oh, my goodness. Happy Annie.
So 3 years will be, out of the newlywed.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. Right. It's a lot of get to know you in the first 24 months. After that,
gosh, yes.
Hey, you guys, let's talk about what's happening with the war because there are plenty of developments this morning. Let's start with this.
Not a Republican I know that thinks it's smart for this country to allow somebody that says they're going to kill us to have a nuclear weapon.
This is one of the very worst military and foreign policy operations that the United States has ever taken.
Well, we will see whether that prediction from Chuck Schumer turns out to be true or not because, Mike, Celeste, there are some reports this morning that there might be face-to-face negotiations part 2 with J.D. Vance and high-ranking U.S. officials, with high-ranking Iranian officials, perhaps as early as this weekend.
Oh, wow. It's going to move fast,
And
hopefully.
that's the reason today we are seeing stocks just absolutely jump. I mean, they have been really on a roar, hoping that there would be some sort of deal. So there's given a lot of hope on Wall Street as well.
All right, let's do it. Mikey brings it up. We are ready to go. Mike,
This is crazy.
in a way, I almost feel like I can read your mind, friend, because I had a feeling we were going to be talking about it, that's for sure. So this is what's going on. The market, remember, it was not that long ago. We were down there at around 46, 45,000. And the market now, from what I'm reading, has made up everything it lost since the first day the war began.
Yeah, and I mean, once we get that, whenever that moment comes on that Truth Social post when he says the war is over, we got a deal.
Right.
I think this thing has been coiled up for so long that it is going to go even, more. I think we'll be back to 50.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, here's what's happening with the price of oil right now. Now, remember, it had just gone back up above 100 after on the weekend. The news was the talks had not advanced to a deal. But I think a lot of people looked at that, Celeste, and said, President Trump as a negotiator, I don't think we've ever had a president write a book before he became president that was entitled The Art of the Deal.
Right.
More than anything else, I think he likes to think of himself as a deal maker.
I think so, too.
And I think one of the techniques that is often used in negotiations is, you know what? If you feel like you're getting close, but you're not getting everything you want, just get up and walk away.
Yeah, and I think at some point, for a lot of big negotiators, that's what you have to do, right? You lay everything down on the line, throw all your cards out, and hey, this is it or nothing.
So, I think some people panicked. They thought, oh, no, that means the war's coming back on. But, Mike, it might have just been a negotiating tactic.
Yeah, and I mean, there was news yesterday that Trump walked away from a deal. There was a deal in place for Iran to end uranium enrichment for 5 years. Trump said, no deal. I want longer than that.
20, apparently,
He
right?
wants 20, yeah.
He wants 20.
So they tried 5. He said, no way.
Right. I mean, do we all want to be back here in 5 years?
No.
And I don't know, maybe if it was up to me, I'm not in these negotiations. I'd like to see it be 30, right, or more, and maybe they give it up altogether. But Mike's making the right point here, and we are seeing oil down now $6.13 a barrel. It could be within another day or two if the trend continues back below 90 into the 80s. We're at 92.96 for a barrel of oil.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people would want those gas prices to come down as fast as they went up.
Yes.
Thank you.
But it never seems like that is the case.
I know it, Mike. I know. If we could make Mike the energy czar, at least of Maricopa County, to bring those prices down.
No kidding.
We're doing the mystery cam at 10:30 this morning, but we still have beautiful pictures from across the world. Look at that little scene right there. Grab a fishing boat, Celeste. Let's go.
Gorgeous.
Be
We'll
right back. Okay, everybody, welcome back. It's Ron, it's Celeste. It's the day after Monday with Mike.
Yes.
Celeste, I kind of like the old, the saying of Mondays with Mike.
I know, me too, but we'll take him any day he's available.
There you go.
Yeah, any day, buddy.
It doesn't have a ring to it, but it's perfect anyway. Hey, so you guys, there's a big story today involving Lululemon. Let's jump right into this. The Attorney General's office in Texas has launched an investigation into Lululemon, with the question being, do they have or have they had in the past potentially harmful chemicals in their activewear? So the probe is going to look at whether or not the company's products now contain or did contain what are called PFAs, or forever chemicals, linked to health risk. And for the most part, do I have this right, that PFAs, we're talking about plastics and things like that. For the most part, they've been worried about people ingesting them.
Yes.
Right? And now it comes up potentially in clothing. It's very interesting. So they're going to scrutinize whether consumers were misled. The investigation includes a review of their testing process, their safety standards. The retailer says, look, we have phased out any of those kind of chemicals that we have ever had. We don't know what the time frame is on it. But Celeste, let me just ask you. When's the last time you've been into a Lululemon store? Mike, I'm going to ask you this question next, so be ready.
It probably was within the last few months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it packed, or was it not very busy?
It was packed.
Really?
Yeah.
So their products are still super popular.
And I'll kind of pop into the outlet store at Westgate. They have a Lululemon outlet store.
Okay.
And that's packed too. Men and women, because they have these like pants that are like slacks that you can wash.
Oh.
And you don't need to have them pressed. And they look
Celeste,
like dress pants.
Kind of like these that I'm wearing right here.
Exactly like.
Oh wait, no, that was yesterday. Hold on. I do have those they're almost like jeggings.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and they
have
look
those
nice.
at Lululemon? Maybe
they do.
I've never set foot in a Lululemon.
Oh.
Mike, have you ever been in a Lululemon
It's been
store?
a couple of years I went with my wife, but yeah, it was around Christmas time, so it was naturally packed.
Yeah,
it gets busy. Here's the thing. They said that they hadn't used PFAs in the product since they phased them out in 2024.
Okay.
That's what Lululemon said. I think the scary thing for some people is this is what, according to the Washington Post, these so-called forever chemicals, they don't break down easy, could potentially cause a range of health issues like kidney disease, low birth weight, and certain cancers. Sure. And, you have a choice, right, like any other clothing that you have. But when you wear Lululemon pants, some women, if you're wearing the tight pants, choose not to wear undies. Okay. You just wear them like that. That's how you do yoga or Pilates or whatever. And some do wear undies. Ron, don't flush, Ron. We're talking real here.
Why is it when we have a guest here, Celeste, you're going to make him feel so uncomfortable?
But so you have, I think the concern was you had these potential chemicals near
your most private areas,
private parts. Okay. Yeah, and so that was kind of, I think, the concern.
Okay,
but just wear undies, I guess.
Whenever Mike starts looking around like for the exit, I feel like that's when we need to kind of move on to the next topic.
Real Talk Tuesday. Though.
Thank you. Yes. Real Talk Tuesday.
Well, speaking of Dr. Mike, he's a regular guest for us. He's great with Fox. And he was talking today. I thought his report regarding vaccines and the flu and shingles and inflammation is something I just felt like we could all hone in on. Here he is.
When you get a shingles outbreak, you get a lot of inflammation in the brain, and you have that immune response, and that all is thought to cause damage and lead to cognitive decline.
So, Celeste, tell us just a little bit more about Dr. Mike's report today, because I know you guys were interested just in talking to him about this, but
yes.
I had not heard before that shingles, if it really rages in your body, we all know what it does. It leaves those kind of almost like welts on your body, but that it can cause problems in the brain.
Well, I think shingles is partly neurological as well, right?
Okay.
And so the deal, what Dr. Mike said was that there's this flu shot, specifically made for the vaccine or the flu is for those over 65.
Okay.
So it's not made for anyone younger than that. And so if they get it, then it can actually help you with dementia because it lowers the inflammation that you have in your brain. And then I asked him, I said, are there any other natural ways that you can actually, lower the inflammation in your brain without taking the vaccine?
Okay, what did he
or maybe
say?
you take the vaccine and you want to do more.
Right.
He said there's some medications and there's things obviously like a Mediterranean diet, changing your diet a little bit, eating less red meat, things like that, eating lots of wild blueberries specifically. He said it's not just blueberries, but specifically wild blueberries.
Really?
There's something in them that helps your brain, I guess, fight off inflammation.
I feel like he's just one of the smarter people that we have on the show. And I think about ordering blueberries because I like to do the grocery pickup, and then I just never do. But do you eat them very often?
We do frozen. We'll do the frozen wild blueberries.
Right. Do you mix them in yogurt or just eat them right out of the...
We do like a smoothie.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
how about you, Mike?
Smoothie.
Are you a blueberry guy or no?
In smoothies, but a little bit on the side as well.
Yeah.
With some yogurt.
Yeah. Here's the crazy thing. Dr. Mike actually sees patients every day.
Yeah.
And so he fits us in and a couple of other stations around the country. He's in Philly.
Right.
But imagine that was your doctor. You walked in, he's got perfect bedside manner.
Yeah,
you can talk to him about anything. He knows so much about so many topics and studies and research.
Right.
He's really great.
It is cool that he carves out a little bit of time.
I know.
And I mean, so he got really popular right across the country during COVID. Is that when he did all the updates? Okay.
Right. Yeah, sure.
Wow.
And look at him now.
Yeah.
Hey, if it works in Philly, it'll work everywhere. You guys, this story is really only beginning. Now, everybody's heard about the Eric Swalwell situation, but there was also, at the same time, see the guy on the right? You may not have been tuned into this one, but his name is Tony Gonzalez. He said, that's it, I'm getting out of here. I'm going to retire ASAP. He's a Republican congressman from Texas. And this has been out there for a while because it was revealed that he had an affair with an aide who later died by suicide. Yeah. So that prompted all kinds of questions. But then the Eric Swalwell situation... Oh, hang on one sec. Let me go to this. Ruben Gallego, there is I think he may be willing to answer some questions. There's a photo out there showing him with Eric Swalwell. They're both on horseback. Let's just listen to what he's saying here. This is happening live. Let's go there.
And just started talking to them about what I saw, and then going forward about what has been happening more than anything else. And then going forward, I will be talking to Schumer and see if we would come up with any ideas, kind of like what I said, of some level of independence to give staffers and people affected an opportunity to go talk to somebody, because some of these people are also could be the people that used to work for him or something of that nature. Yes.
Thank you. No, thank you. You mentioned lies and rumors when you first came out to talk to us. Have you ever engaged in any inappropriate sexual misconduct or behavior toward your staff, other women outside of your marriage?
No.
I want to get back to your time on Eric Swalwell's campaign, and furthermore his run for governor. As you know, every campaign does opposition research, so even if you heard these rumors, why didn't they raise any red flags?
So first, as I said before, I knew Eric totally different from everybody else. It's just the truth, right? Like when you break bread with somebody, when you are with somebody every day, when you go through some of the hardest moments of your life and trust somebody with that, you don't think about this other process of vetting, right? And that's what happened. That's exactly what happened. And then when he starts running for governor, and then stuff starts percolating, he knew exactly what to say to me. It's like, this is the same thing that they were doing to you. And he knew I came off a horrible race where I had to answer to my family, I had to answer accusations to best friends, to my kids, and he fed into that. He fed into it, and I fell for it. Like everyone else, I fell for the lies. I regret it, but that's what happened.
Looking back at it, when you first heard these rumors about flirtatious behavior, should you have done something differently?
I think I should have talked to him about it. I think I should have told him, this is what I'm hearing out there. And I think, you should know about it. And if you're doing it, stop. I fell into the trap, again, because I think I was too inside the family bubble that I just didn't think it was that. And certainly did not think of, I never would have imagined it was to the point where we saw right now. Even, like we're talking about harassment of staff, I never would have imagined that. And I never heard actual accusations of harassment of staff or predatory behavior towards staff. And it's just, again, when you're in with a family, you've known each other, you've gone through some horrible situations together, you let your guard down. I let him in. I let him into my circle, and trusted my family with him, and I deeply regret it.
When you heard the rumors, was it people coming to you in hopes that you would talk to Swalwell about it, or was it just...
No. It was just like... It's just like, it's like Washington, D.C. There's just rumors all the time. They're just floating all the time. It wasn't anybody saying, like, hey, I need you to go talk to this person because I know you guys are friends. And then also that is, I think that when it rises to that is some certain things, certainly some that I would do and other people would do too. But it was never that.
Senator,
you said that you were considering running for president in 2028. Does this at all influence your decision whether to run?
Our full consideration is, first of all, what the hell just happened. Number one, stopping these lies. And the reason I want to stop the lies is because my family just got off 2 years of tens of millions of dollars with them lying about me, lying about my kids, lying about my wife, and seeing it again start by the same people, the same political operatives, using this horrible situation that, victimized these women, who made, I don't know what's going on with his family, but it's definitely a horrible situation for family. They're using that as a cover to attack me right now because they can't do it. They couldn't take back 2024 because they ran a horrible race. But now this is what they want to do. They just want to hurt me as much as they can. Presidents, everything else like that, I don't care. We're going to wait, and that's not even a thing right now. The most important thing is I want to protect my family. I want to protect my family's reputation.
All right, we will keep a very close eye on this. Events unfolding as we speak. Questions now about Ruben Gallego and his friendship with Eric Swalwell. We'll be back with more of FTT in 2 minutes. Hey, by the way, we had you guys wait around just a little bit longer on your mystery cam guesses. So if you think you know where this is, you can give us your guesses right now. But we're continuing today. We've got Mike Pache with us as well. There's a really interesting story about using emojis at work and whether that's appropriate or not. And so, Syleste, I know you've kind of been digging into it a little bit. What's the whole angle on it?
So the deal is there's this new study out that, kind of took a look at some of the emails in the workplace. And they said, are emojis really appropriate or inappropriate? I think a lot of people thought, well, hey, Ron, like we're friends. Yeah. Mike, we're friends. Right. You're friends with people. Is it okay to use emojis with them?
Sure.
Well, maybe at work.
If you're emailing them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Apparently, they said that's a no-go. Don't use them at all.
Really?
Because it can be seen as unprofessional.
This is so interesting because I just wrapped up a Fox leadership program.
Oh, okay.
And there was a segment called Emojis in the Workplace.
Really?
Oh.
They did a whole day on it pretty much.
Okay.
And it was it's big with the Gen Zers, right? And everybody.
Huge.
But they said you got to stay away from it because it could get misinterpreted so easy that lines could get crossed even before you even say anything.
Well, and sometimes the type of emoji, like for example, they said some people will put angry face or a thumbs down, and it can hurt your perception of a coworker and maybe even make them feel uncomfortable because they don't understand exactly what you're saying. Like, especially these days when the young kids, they come out with, my daughter was like, don't put 2 thumbs up because that means a bad thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, really? 2 thumbs up? Yeah, just do 1 thumbs up. I'm like, okay, these rules are too crazy. I'm going to stick to letters.
All right. So here's what we did, totally unfiltered. I was saying to you guys earlier, screenshot your most recently used emojis.
Yes.
We're going to unveil them right now. And you guys at home, you can join the chat. Are there 1 or 2 emojis that you love to use? If you go to your time, you can also email us at fox10talks@fox.com.
Yes.
Tell us about that. But who do we want to do first? Me, you, or Mikey?
Let's go with Mikey. He's a guest here today.
Here are Mike's most frequently used emojis. Let's see if any of these are inappropriate, Syleste.
Well, the monkey with no eyes.
Right? Sure. Try sending that one to your boss.
Yeah, right.
In an email.
I do got the dish there as my second one because I'm cooking a lot.
Oh, so, honey, what's for dinner?
Yeah.
What is that supposed to be? It looks like chicken dumplings
I think
or something.
Chicken.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's chicken. I hope.
And is the next one soup?
Anyways, it tastes like chicken.
Yeah, the one down there next to the heart is soup, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Mike, going from left to right on the upper row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's the crying face all about?
Well, that one is the one where I think that's a positive one, correct? Isn't that a positive laugh? Like you're just hysterical laugh?
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The third one, I mean.
The third one.
Oh, that one, yeah. But what about the 5th one? I'm like, Mike, is there some heartache that we need to know about? All right, let's go to Syleste. Okay. Here come yours. All right, Syleste.
So these are mine. So I do the okay, like with the little circle and the fingers.
Yeah.
And then I love the white hearts. And then I'm like, okay, that's me. Like that. Oh, yeah, I do that all the time. That's why I raise my hand.
All right.
But, I cook. I send the lips to my husband. I blow him a kiss.
Oh, nice.
Because sometimes they're sleeping when I'm leaving for work.
Sometimes.
Most of the time. Like mom's like, what am I going to do? Like, I don't know what I'm doing. What's happening? Like when I throw my hands up.
Yeah, the bottom row, 1, 2, 3, 4 over.
Yes.
That is fantastic.
Yeah. So those are some of the ones.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
All right, ready? Here come mine. I don't even know for sure what I'm about to show.
Oh my goodness, you're skiing, Ron.
Okay, so
what is the ant?
I actually used that at work today because I'm sorry I broke the rules. I texted Big D in about 90 seconds. We're going to be live with Snowbowl.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, let's talk skiing.
That's right. Tell us more about the ant at the 4th row down.
Okay,
second
so the grandkids were over at the house yesterday.
Yeah.
And across the street we have a park, and Mason was going for a football, and he didn't make the catch, and he puts his hand down right where a couple of 3 ants were.
Oh, no.
And he's like, I got to go back over to the house and see Nene and get some baking soda on my hand. It hurts like crazy.
Does baking soda work?
Supposedly.
Wow. Okay, that's a little life hack.
I'm trying to think what else we...
Is the red circle like if you're in the circle of trust?
Correct.
Oh, that's a good one.
None of my worker friends are, Syleste, sorry. And then I was talking to a buddy. So he went fishing down at San Carlos this last weekend. He pulled a catfish out of there. I said, that thing is so huge. He said 11 pounds.
Wow. Did he keep it or catch and release?
Oh, these are eating fish, Syleste.
Yeah, okay.
These are all for the eating.
Yeah, no kidding.
Wow.
And I'm guessing you sent the trophy to your wife because she's beautiful and wife of the year.
It is. I would love to say that's true, but I think it had to do with our March Madness bracket.
We want to give a big shout out this morning to Renee. She's watching. She says her auntie and cousin, Paula and Jordan. She said, can you give them a shout out, Syleste?
Oh,
so we're giving you guys a shout out.
Paula and Jordan.
Yeah, and then Renee's watching as well. So good morning to all of you, and thank you for watching. Yeah. We love it. We love it.
By the way, our some of the guesses we saw in the mystery cam, I saw South Dakota, and I saw a few others. Do you guys have a guess as to what this might be?
Oh, let's see. There was a South Carolina, too.
Oh, that looks a lot like South Carolina.
I think I'm going to go with the South Carolina. I like that one. Okay, what do you guys think, gentlemen?
I'm just going to go with Missouri.
All right. And I'll go with, say, maybe Georgia. I feel like it is in the South. I'm going to go Alabama.
Okay, Alabama.
Right, so here
is your mystery camera answer.
Yeah.
And
what do you got, Syleste?
Athens, Georgia.
Nice.
You almost got it.
I jumped over Georgia.
I know.
For no reason whatsoever.
What a beautiful day there it is, though. It's so green.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow, gorgeous.
Okay, big story, you guys, and it has to do with fire up that ski season again. Talking emojis, that's for sure. So we are really looking forward to talking with Angie. She's up at Snowbowl.
Yeah, Angie, how are you? You guys have to be totally stoked about this. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm doing well. And you're right. We are totally stoked. It just feels like, I don't know, like kind of like a fairy tale after the last couple of warm weeks that we've had. It's a winter wonderland up here. And so it's awesome.
Okay. So first question, I got to get this out of the way. How often do you send the skiing emoji?
How often do I use the skiing emoji?
Yeah.
You know, I use the skiing emoji what feels like almost every single day in my life. But I'm a snowboarder, so I use the snowboard emoji even more.
Oh, okay. Good point. Yeah. All right. So tell us how much of the mountain is open and what people can expect now that we're going into what we call ski season number 2.
Yeah, right. It's like our second season here. But today and tomorrow, we will be running our Arizona Gondola. It will provide access to 7 advanced trails. And so there's some really great terrain up there, especially after we just got 6 inches of snowfall last night.
That is amazing. Wow. So we were watching some of the live, cameras there at the mountain. You guys were kind of getting ready for this. So today and tomorrow, you guys are open, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Today and tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
All right. So tell us, I guess you guys went to surge pricing a few years ago. And so sometimes the ticket price can be more than you would think. And other times it can come in way less than you would think. About what are people going to be paying today and tomorrow?
Yeah, so there is a whole strategy behind our pricing. First, we always want to give people the freedom to ski, right? Yeah. And so our tickets actually start as low, typically around $19. But this season, they actually started as low as $1. Every single first month, including New Year's Day, started as low as $1. But then we do increase the price based on demand. And so the more that somebody is buying for a certain day, the more that price will go up. And so it doesn't really depend on the weather or what the day of the week is. It really just depends on how much people are buying. The idea behind that is to give people the freedom to ski and to preserve that guest experience. And of course, that comes with managing capacity, right? But today, lift tickets are actually $29 for today. And They did start out at $1, and lift tickets are $12 right now for tomorrow, and those also started at $1 when we launched them on Sunday.
That is amazing.
You can't find $12 ski tickets anywhere.
You can't buy
anywhere
a burger and drink anymore for less than $12.
Right.
Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So once you guys, Angie, let me ask you this: once you guys finish off the season, you guys have a lot still going on the mountain.
Yeah, we sure do. So yeah, we are finishing up skiing today and tomorrow up here, unless for some reason we get another storm and can do more bonus days. But we will be moving swiftly into our summer season. And so we will be running our scenic gondola rides on the weekends until about middle of May, when we actually open up for 7 days of our operation, where we'll have those scenic gondola rides, those summer activities, disc golf, mountain dining, all of that good stuff that people love to enjoy. And it's a great way to get out of the heat.
Yes, it is.
Hey, tell me about, I guess I'm going to call them the ambassadors on the mountain. It's been a couple of years since I was up to Snowbowl to get a day of skiing. And it was spring skiing, and it was fantastic. But, the men and women who are in those jackets, who are always around to help, who are they?
Yeah, we have an incredible team up here, right? There is so much that goes into running the mountain up here every single day, especially during the winter season. Of course, we have our wonderful ski patrol. We have lift maintenance. We have our grooming team that worked all last night getting the mountain ready. In the early season, we have our snowmakers out there, and the list goes on, right? Down to guest services, rentals, food and beverage. There's a lot of people up here that work very hard to get things running each and every day.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's really great. I mean, we're talking about people with a lot of knowledge about skiing and about the ski hill. That's great. Well, let's hope for an even better ski season next year. I know it was a little slow to start, but at least you got, one or two big dumps?
We really did. It was a challenging season for us, but it was a challenging season really for everyone across the United States. But we still had a lot of really great days up here. We opened a day early. We opened up with a ton of snowfall. We had some big storms in February. And so we've still had plenty of fun up here. But yes, we are certainly looking forward to next year. And hopefully, based on what the forecasters are saying, it's looking to me maybe a super El Nino. And so if there's a year to get a season pass or purchase lift tickets and come skiing, it is next year.
That is amazing, Angie. Right. Yeah, well, you guys opened up before some of the Utah hills did this year.
That's a good point. Yeah, at one point you had more snow than anybody else. All right. Well, Angie, it's great. We always love talking to you. Hope you get a bunch of people up tomorrow for those $12 tickets.
Yeah, Angie, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
All right. Look at that beautiful shot here of University or something, Ron.
It does.
We'll be right back.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. That is a beautiful college campus, Celeste.
Oh, yeah.
Man, oh, man.
Yeah, red brick, you know, beautiful skies, rolling hills.
Look, we find out what the mystery cam is when we open up the piece of paper. But if it's not a mystery cam, we have no idea. I'm betting it's in the Carolinas. But hold on a sec. University of Oregon weather stem.
Oh, interesting. Oh,
so that's Eugene, beautiful Eugene.
Wow.
How about that? It's nice.
So cloudy there.
Okay. So, you guys, let's talk about there's been a little bit of a kerfuffle. Mm-hmm. And that's one of my favorite old-timey phrases, Celeste, kerfuffle.
Kerfuffle.
And the other one I like to use, but I haven't in a long time, is, well, that's a whole new kettle of fish.
Oh.
I heard somebody using that one yesterday.
Okay, what does that mean, kettle of fish? Like, that's a whole...
it's like a whole different ball of wax. Bella, do you know what I mean when I say it's
another kettle of fish?
A different kettle of fish? Not really.
Kettle of fish.
Anyway.
I feel like that's chaos. A kettle of fish would be chaotic. Right? You're boiling the water, and the fish are jumping out.
Okay.
It's an awkward, messy, or difficult situation.
Oh, see?
It is used to describe a muddle or a problematic state of affairs.
There you are. Which I guess you could say is sort of the situation right now between the Pope and the Prez.
That is a kettle of fish.
That is a whole different kettle of fish right there. Anyway, this was our report from Taylor Wirtz about this, and then we'll have more on the Prez.
It's not often that the Pope gets political.
I do not look at my role as being political, politician. I don't want to get into a debate with him.
But after Pope Leo criticized President Trump's recent decisions in Iran, that's how the president is taking it.
We don't like a pope that's going to say that it's okay to have a nuclear weapon. I don't like it.
The Diocese of Phoenix responded today, saying, quote, "The Holy Father is not a politician, nor should he be reduced to one. When he speaks about peace, justice, or the moral dimensions of global affairs, he does so not as a partisan voice, but as a pastor of the Universal Church." Local parishioner Tommy Espinoza, who spent time with multiple popes, says his faith is everything, and he's glad the Pope is speaking up.
Pope Leo is doing what he should be doing. He is speaking out that, peace is a key element of our Christian faith. His role, his job, is to speak out on worldly issues that impact the humanity and the dignity of individuals.
Other Valley Catholics are simply hoping for unity.
Hopefully they'll get along, and I'm praying for all of our leaders.
I really think we need to get back to our roots.
As for Espinoza, he has a specific recommendation for the White House.
I would recommend to the President of the United States to go to the Bible and read Corinthians 13, which speaks about love. By the grace of God, we get away from destruction and try to get back to some kind of civil negotiations that will bring us together.
Okay, so I don't even want to call it war words. That's like an overused phrase.
Yeah.
But the disagreements between the two world leaders are certainly something that people are talking about. Mm-hmm. But they're also talking about the post that the Prez made. Let me see if I can pull this up right here. Ready? This is the one. You did take it down, so you have to kind of take a look at it here. And some people were really outraged about it. I was watching Brett Baer's show on Fox yesterday, a special report, and he was asked, he was interviewing the VP, J.D. Vance, and his response was, the vice president, I think the president was posting a joke, and of course he took it down because he recognized that a lot of people weren't understanding his humor in that case. So there you go.
So he meant it to be a little bit more lighthearted than it was, than it came across.
And then he said, I thought it was of me as a doctor, which a lot of people were skeptical about. I don't know any doctors, although I would love to have a doctor come in the white robes and the red robes.
And lay his hand on your forehead.
Sure,
and your,
why not, right? I mean, you do whatever you got to do. So I didn't really think it was Jesus when I saw it, because obviously it's him. I thought, it kind of wasn't, maybe, I don't know if a joke, but he liked it because it made him look like he was larger than life, like a holy person.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I didn't think Jesus.
I don't think Jesus either here. Maybe a disciple.
Oh, see, Celeste. Good.
But I don't.
Which one?
Well,
careful how you answer that one.
Well, here's the thing, too. It's like, where's the Jesus? I think Jesus was supposed to be a little bit more olive complexion. Some history experts say.
That's right.
Maybe like darker hair, darker features.
Yeah,
so I don't know if he would have come out with a beard and some like brown locks. Maybe I would have.
I remember going to church one time on a Sunday. I was back in Boston, and I went to the Park Street Church, which has been. They used to store the gunpowder for the War of 1812 in the basement.
Wow.
Paul Revere is buried in the little churchyard cemetery.
Wow.
And the pastor was saying, look, you can find Jesus everywhere if you just look. And the specific thing she mentioned was, help us find Jesus in the stoplight that is frustrating you because you get in the car and other people are aggravating you because of their drive. Look for him everywhere, even in the stoplight.
Yes.
I thought, well, that's kind of a cool thought.
That is.
Anyway, let's go to our poll question because it's a chance for you to weigh in. Ready? Here we go. 53% are saying, I am offended. Did he not think that would offend Christian believers? 37% are saying, he posts a lot of outlandish things online, so I'm not offended by this one. And then 10% are saying, he said it wasn't him as Jesus, and I believe him. The QR code is a great way for you to weigh in on this one.
All right, here is where we stand right now on YouTube. I just refreshed, so we are at 1.2 thousand votes in just the last hour, 59% online. So this one is right along with what we're seeing on with many of you television voters. Yes, did he not think that he would offend Christian believers? 59% say yes, you're offended. 30% say he posts outlandish things a lot, not offended by this one. And 12% say he said it wasn't him as Jesus. I believe him.
Okay. Well, there you go. And you can join the conversation either way. Should we go to Big D?
Let's get maybe Big D. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah,
it's pretty interesting. I'll say that.
Okay.
Karen in Sun City West says, yes, I am offended by that comment. He is not God, and we will not look up to him as that. Joan in Litchfield Park says most of the comments he makes are offensive. Unfortunate that a man in such a powerful position did not learn how to be tactful. Skid Moda on YouTube says, it's stupid. It's why I ignore what he says, but look more closely at what he actually does. And David Michalak 6023 says, can't anyone take a joke anymore? Really interesting comments. We love hearing from you on fox10phoenix.com/poll as well as on YouTube.
Okay, here's Shelley saying, there are a lot of people who've got a corn cob stuck somewhere. And she said, and I'm a very religious person. I'm a big-time Christian. But I definitely also have a sense of humor. So we get great comments on YouTube.
We do. We have some great comments. I mean, Emperor Ivan said, I didn't mean, he didn't make the meme. He just retweeted it.
Right.
And so.
Yeah. Okay.
Just a couple thoughts
there
out there.
The chat's going off. Lots of different comments.
The chat is on fire.
Okay, well, we love it. We love it when we really get that feedback from you guys. So continue to share your thoughts for sure. But before we let Dave go, busy guy.
Does he? We're not letting him go.
Oh,
he's
no.
not going anywhere.
No, we're not.
He's not going anywhere.
Even though he's taking a week's vacay here pretty soon.
We have tears already happening, Ron.
But Dave was talking earlier this morning. We're chatting about various elements for the show. And he's like, we should talk about the fact that we have this new website at Fox 10 that people are really going to like. Dave, what's the whole situation?
That's right. If you go to fox10phoenix.com/live schedule, you can see when Fox 10 Talks airs every day. You can see where...
Oh, hold on, Dave. I forgot. Can we bring Dave's mic up, Ronnie, while he's talking about this here? So you're telling us about the website.
Yeah, so fox10phoenix.com/live schedule. You can find out when Ron's show, Great American Story, airs. You can find out when Celeste's shows, Cool House and The Balancing Act, air. You can find out when John Hook's Newsmaker air. We have so many great shows, and now there's one spot on fox10phoenix.com/live schedule where you can find out when they air every single day.
I think it's brilliant because people know we have all these cool streaming shows that we do right now.
Yeah.
And you can find out more about it.
Well, and it doesn't just give you like, Bells, me or Ron, or it gives you like the Drone Zone is an opportunity for you guys to see BK and Joe Tillman.
Right.
They're such fun guys, and an opportunity to see what they do as drone pilots and what life is like for them when they're out exploring Arizona.
Oh, yeah,
they get some really great images, and they explore the state like no one else.
They do. I think that schedule is so helpful because there's so many different shows. There's something for everyone.
Yes.
My mom loves Celeste show. My dad loves the Great American Story show.
Okay.
So there's something for everyone. You should go check it out.
Well, tell your dad we're just wrapping up, about to post our newest episode, which is the Battle of Iwo Jima. Oh, man. I know John Netzel's been working hard on it. We'll get him to pop in here and share a little bit more info about it coming up. But Bella, since we have you here and we've been talking about everybody's emoji, walk us through yours.
I don't know.
What is the one at the top? The first one on the top row?
Oh, that's like rolling my eyes.
Okay.
I was rolling my eyes.
What's the story behind it? Come on.
I actually don't remember what I was rolling my eyes about, but it was something.
Right.
It was something.
Okay.
Oh, I went to dinner last night for Megan's birthday, and we were told adding lobster to our mac and cheese would be $8 extra.
Oh my gosh.
It was $20 extra, and the mac and cheese was already $18, so we paid $38 for mac and cheese.
Oh
so
my
I was rolling my eyes about
gosh.
that.
Holy cow.
Now, we don't want you to throw any restaurant under the bus or anything,
Right.
but was it good that in the end, or no?
Not as good for the price.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you start paying those kind of prices, you're like, this better be all-time
No
mouth-watering
kidding. I do
kind of
love
thing.
this, Bells.
Yeah. Well, that's a good one, too. You guys would have found me in line at Chick-fil-A last night for dinner, so I kind of go a little bit. I would actually get up and walk out if it was that expensive. I don't mind. Oh, you guys.
I
All
had
right.
leftover steak.
Did
I
you?
sliced it up, threw it back in the saute pan on a bed of greens,
Yes.
and I made like a little vinaigrette.
Okay.
Boom, that was dinner.
A couple of quick items here. If you want to call our viewer voicemail and tell us your favorite streaming show, 602-262-0428. One more thing, Celeste.
Yes.
It's a great big thank you to Brian Berkeley,
look
who
at Brian.
won a T-shirt and gave it right to his son, Bryce. That's Bryce, and he looks sharp.
Bryce, it's a perfect fit, buddy. We love that you guys hang with us. Thank you so much. We want you to have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
You guys, bring it on in.
That was a fun show.
That was a good show.
Job. That was so good.
Hi.
Welcome on in. Happy Tuesday, everybody. We're going to keep things rolling now on Fox 10 Talks at 11. Another jam-packed show.
Do we ever stop rolling?
No. And do we ever not have a jam-packed show?
No.
All right. Let's bring in Krystal. Hey, Krystal.
Hi, guys. Our favorite meteorologist ever.
Oh, wow. What
Ever.
a title.
Especially this week.
I'm going to message anyone that you've ever worked with in previous markets.
You can.
Or
You
just
can
to make sure they
absolutely-
know.
I'll give you a list of names. I've never called anyone my favorite. Only because the weather is so perfect.
Oh, it's so nice. We're just right now when we were walking over to the streaming studio. We were like,
yeah, a little bit of sunshine out there. It is beautiful. And what I love about this is we're bringing you in to talk about this is they got a little snow up at Snowbowl, which is even cooler that they are extending their ski season today, tomorrow, and maybe even a couple days later.
Not even extend, they close.
That's true.
Like, hey.
Yeah.
They're calling them bonus days, I think is what they're calling them for today and tomorrow at least, which is awesome. So we more than a week ago were saying, okay, it looks like the system could potentially be cold enough to bring some high elevation snow, but it's like, we'll see because we've been running so warm, the ground has been warm, and it was a little questionable if we'd actually be able to see it happen. And then indeed, as it got closer and closer, it was like, yeah, it's looking like a little snow. And that's exactly what happened. Even Flagstaff had some snowflakes mixing in last night, but this is a live camera view from Snowbowl. I think, is this the live view?
Yeah, but I think it's frozen now.
I think it's frozen
but you get
as well.
the idea.
Yeah, I'm like, everybody's not moving, but it was live at one moment, and you can see how much snow is on the ground. Actually, when I checked the camera early this morning, obviously I get in super early, but well, we all do. But the whole ground where everyone would walk normally, if you're familiar with Snowbowl, was covered in snow, and then the crews immediately started cleaning up. They probably didn't have to because already the sun angle is starting to melt everything off on the concrete as well. But this is exciting that they got some snow. Yeah. I have a live camera that's looking at the peaks from farther away. This is from East Flag, looking towards San Francisco peaks, and you can see there's at least some snow all the way down the mountainside. But already it looks less so than it did early this morning. So no surprise, we're getting the sun. Quickly. It's starting to warm. If there was a little coating in some places, that's going to melt off really fast. But the tops are holding on to that snow, which is why Snowbowl was able to extend their season a little bit. This is the loop from yesterday evening. So 9-10 at night, which is exactly when we were forecasting, it turned over to snow. And then it was kind of in and out snow showers throughout the night and early a.m. But notice past 1 a.m., it had pretty much lifted off of Flag and the San Francisco peak. So then it was moving off and along the east. But here, I'll start it over again so you can see there it was rain at 5 o'clock, and then at about 8-9 o'clock it started to turn over to snow along parts of the peaks and around Flag. Flag was right on the cusp of a rain to snow mix, and then it started to fizzle out past midnight. So this really followed pretty much the exact timeline that we were expecting, and now the whole state is dry. That's what we look like right now on Fox Vision. There's still some clouds up in the high country, but most of it is dry at this point. This is the ski report for Snowbowl. They picked up 6 inches of new snow, which is great. Half a foot. Brought their season total to 150 inches, which is not as good as what they average. They usually average just a little under 200, I believe. But still, it's better than it could have been because the season as a whole wasn't great. But there were a lot of storms that were just a little too warm for most communities, especially Prescott, Payson, even Flag or Show Low even, to get snow. They ended up with rain, but we did see some snow at the peaks, so that's why we got to that 150. 7 of the 61 trails are open. 1 of the 8 lifts are open for these next couple of days.
We were so worried in March when we had those few weeks of triple-digit high temperatures, and we had so many people asking, will we ever go down?
Yeah, a lot of people were worried about that. They're like, well, it's officially summer, 90s from here on out. And I kept being like, well,
you never know. Yeah, and you were right.
We'll see about that. I mean, statistically speaking, it would not have made sense for us to have continued with this excessive heat wave March and April. And then, as people were saying, what would that have meant for May, June, July? But realistically, we knew that we would get back to somewhat normal pattern. And that's what we've done, is we've gotten back to what's more of a normal pattern. March and April are supposed to be transitional years or periods during the year. So you're supposed to have a hot snap and then a cooler snap and then maybe some rain and still maybe a little bit of snow. That's much more normal. So this is a pretty typical April, actually, what we're seeing now. March was the weirdo. There's the future cast. For the rest of today, there is a low chance of a few passing showers late day and into this evening. They'd be isolated showers on the backside of that storm system that actually passed us last night. So you're getting the back rotation of this system that's actually now moving over into Mexico. And then that'll kind of drag off to the east overnight. So by tomorrow, we're full sunshine moving forward. But because it was a cold front, the temperatures are, they're just perfect. Perfect. 80 degrees for us is the forecast high today in Phoenix, which is roughly the same as yesterday. 52 only in Flag, 63 Winslow, 68 in Globe. And then the lows tonight, guys, will also be quite chilly. 27 for the low in Flagstaff, 33 for St. John's. And even in the Valley this morning, so I walked in this morning and I get in at like, it depends on the day, anywhere from like 3:15 to 3:30. And I walked in and I was like, ooh, guys, our parking lot to walking in the door is like not much of a walk. But I was like, ooh, I was a little chilly. And our producer, Richard, was like, well, were you surprised by that? Like a little worried that I didn't know my own forecast.
Meteorologist didn't know.
I'm like, no, I knew it was going to be chilly, but it's still chilly. It still was surprising to feel chilly because it has been a minute since I've even thought about a sweater. It's like we haven't needed one. So
Charles David says, been loving this weather.
Yeah, me too, man.
And Lil Philosophy says those were beautiful dark clouds zooming over Phoenix last night. We had rain. I woke up and our front was wet and I had rain.
You've kind of lucked out. I feel like that, like in the last couple, even like the last few weeks, there's been like these spotty shower events, and you seem to have been like, yeah, I got it. You guys have lucked out.
Manifesting all the weather.
There you go. Krystal,
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
we
of course.
Appreciate it. All right, we're moving on to our next topic. We're talking about AI, you guys, and I love this. We're talking about AI for the busy human.
I feel like everyone's talking about AI, and I also feel like, is there an in-between? Do people either love it or do they hate it? Are they just getting used to it? And how do you use it to your benefit if you are a busy human?
So our next guest is going to break that all down for us. This is Bella. Good morning, Bella.
Bella.
Thanks for coming in.
Good morning. How are you?
We're doing great. So for people that maybe have never dipped their toe yet into AI, how can we use this on a daily basis to just kind of, I guess, streamline our life?
Oh my gosh, it's such a great question. So here's the thing, what I don't think people understand. And to your point, I believe that AI is like a spectrum. Everyone uses it completely different. The way that you have it set up or you're using is different than I am. Okay. And so we have to remember that when we first started, it was a lot of prompting. Can you rewrite this email? Now give it the exact, your goal at the end, and it actually can understand and bring you all the way to the end.
Is that almost just as much work though? Because by the time I type into AI everything that I want, should I have just written that email?
Such a great point too. Don't ever type. Your output is going to be completely different whether you talk into it and you tell it than when you type. When you type, your brain is slowing you down. It's taking all of the creativity away from it. And if you do type, you also don't have to correct it. You only have to be like halfway. You should see some of my inputs. They're terrible. But you always want to talk to it. You're going to get way better output. Input is output.
Okay, so I can't talk into my computer though. So you're saying always use a phone.
You absolutely can. They have features on both of them now that allow you to do that.
Really?
Yes.
Let me ask you this too. There's so many different chat bots now. There's ChatGPT. We've heard about Claude. We've heard about the Gemini. I mean, there's
Grok,
so many.
Perplexity, all of them.
So how do you know which one's which, and do they all kind of do what you need it to do, or do you use different ones for different tasks?
Okay, so like we all have clothes on right now, right?
Let's hope.
But
sometimes Ty forgets his pants or splits them.
But like if I put my clothes on you, it would look a little weird, right? And that's kind of how all the different models are, right? The most the mainstream obviously is ChatGPT. It's kind of like the Kleenex or the Coca-Cola, right? The Coke. And I think it's kind of like the gateway drug. It's where people get into it. But I personally kind of feel like even though chat technically right now as of today is test higher than Claude does. Claude, I feel like, is like a emotionally mature adult that will take in your information, ask some clarifying questions, and give you your answer. ChatGPT is like a ADHD 5-year-old, and I have an 11-year-old who has ADHD.
So you know.
And it will give you your answer, and then you'll get like 20 different things that you can do. So and it's going back to your question, that does give you extra work. And so it's really important to have the strategy and understand exactly how to use it instead of just, hey, can you redo this email for me? If you're just still doing that, you're doing it wrong.
So I'll Google something and then that top little portion says AI.
Yes, the AI
and that is, I think, free. So do you have to subscribe? Do you have to pay for all this stuff? Or how does that work?
So with the AI thing at the top, about 60% of searches are now ending in no clicks because that's coming up, right? And so this other thing is happening. We're not even going to go into that, but it's AIO, AEO. But to your point, all of them are free. However, when it's free, your data is not free. You are the customer, right? Or you are the advertisement. You're not paying for it. So I would really recommend that you do get the $20 subscription.
Okay.
However, when you're doing all of that, what happens is you end up giving them all of your information, and that is like a lot of people don't feel comfortable with that. And you get a lot older model. So if you're on a free version right now, you don't even know the potential of the kind of conversation you can have because it's older versions, typically speaking, for all of them.
We've got about 2.5 minutes, and I want to get into some prompts that you have put in there to kind of streamline your life. And you said one of them is helping you find recipes.
Absolutely.
So this is one of them right here.
Okay, yes. So how many of you guys know what's for dinner tonight? Probably.
Not me.
Yeah, right? And so if you prompt it correctly, things like, I need dinner ideas using only these ingredients. And maybe you haven't gone shopping, right? So they're just random ingredients
what
everywhere.
you have left.
Yes. Put it in there. And then who are you cooking for? Are there any allergies?
Yeah, okay.
And then also like, I want high protein, low carb, or whatever it might be. And here's the clincher. I want to get it done in 10 minutes.
Oh.
And have, if you really want to go crazy, and have leftovers for lunch tomorrow, right? So when you have no creativity left in your brain, this is a great way to use this tool when you're just brain dead and you're like, oh my God, I don't know, my kids are yelling at me, like there's so many things going on and I'm going to go through drive-thru again, and then feel horrible, right? And just beat yourself up. This is a great way for the busy person to solve life.
I see both points.
Yes, of course.
Number one, we need to use our brains though, and we need to try to figure out what to do with potatoes, tomatoes, and carrots on our own without asking a robot. But at the same time, so many people are doing so much that they are burned out and they don't want to just drive through. So this is a little bit of a help.
And it allows you to be creative. If you, all those prompts I just gave you, I guarantee most of the viewers right now aren't using all of those prompts. So you actually are using your brain to think strategically and to think a higher way, can I use this tool to help me? Then you end up with this brand new recipe that you've never had before. And all of a sudden, now you do have that in your memory. You're like, that was good. I'm going to make it again.
That's a good point.
You have some other tips right here for doctor's appointments, some questions that you need to maybe ask your doctor when you go into an appointment.
Yes. So what I did is I was getting asked all the time, hey, can you teach classes? And I said, you know what? I'll just do a short podcast, 15 minutes, because we're all busy.
Yeah.
And we solve everyday problems. Almost every single person has planned a trip, has had to go to the doctor, has wanted to, I wonder what that window would look different with like different
I did that with the TV in my house.
Exactly.
I was like, can I fit a bigger TV
And
here?
it's so simple to do, and I give you all the prompts.
We only have 15 seconds. How can folks find your podcast?
Go to bellavasta.com/busyhuman. That easy.
Thank
Bella,
you.
that was
Great
fun.
info. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you
Come
so
back.
much. All
Thank
right.
you.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Wait, jump off.
welcome back. We're going to keep things rolling here on Fox 10 Talks.
It is National Ex-Spouse Day. Don't ask me how we figured that out, but we did. And so we thought we would bring in a divorce attorney, and this is Lindsey
Fibus.
Thank you so much. 35 to 40% of U.S. marriages end in divorce.
I'm not surprised to hear that.
Nice and close to the mic.
Yeah, so Lindsey, let's start. I guess, this is something that I guess people don't really want to talk about because they hope that when they get married that they're going to live long, happy lives together. But as Anita just mentioned, a lot of these do, unfortunately, end in divorce. I wanted to start with the very beginning. We always hear people talking about, what are they called?
Prenups.
Mm-hmm. Talk about those a little bit. We'll start there before we go into the divorce because a prenup could potentially, if things lead to a divorce, could really help.
Yes. From an attorney perspective, get a prenuptial agreement.
But do you what if you don't have a lot of money and you don't have a lot of assets? Do you need a prenup?
Not necessarily, but it's a way to keep things from getting contentious years down the road while you're still in love and contemplating that marriage. Take some of the contention. It is contemplating divorce and what happens in the event of a divorce, but it takes away the ability to fight over. Anything. You can litigate anything.
Yeah.
I'm an attorney.
Yeah, you would know.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the divorce because, it can get contentious. It can get hot. It can get really ugly.
Absolutely.
And does every divorce get contentious and ugly?
Not every divorce gets contentious and ugly. It's usually the ones that involve children or hurt feelings. Unfortunately, hurt people. And so a lot of it is the people themselves, hopefully not the attorneys being nasty, but that does happen as well. But yeah, it's a lot of emotion. Unfortunately, divorce is a very emotional process.
I can only imagine.
It's very difficult to keep the emotions out of it.
Yeah. We mentioned the prenup. What about a post-nup? Because I've heard some friends talking about these post-nup. So after you get married, then you're like, wait, we never did a prenup. Maybe we should do a
post-nuptial. Got it.
You can do a post-nuptial agreement if possible. I definitely recommend doing a prenup because the standards for the post-nuptial agreement are a bit higher because you've already entered into the marriage. The prenup is, we're thinking about getting married, so this is a good idea, whereas the post-nup, you've already done it. And so there's just a little higher standard, but it's still possible.
Okay.
Let's say we have a couple that comes in and they're both agreeing we want this to be quick and easy. But divorce is not always necessarily quick and easy. You can't just go in, sign paperwork, and be done. There are processes, there are laws. I have a friend who went through a divorce. Both sides agreed, but it still took, I think it was January she filed, and it was just a couple of weeks ago that the judge signed off. What's the process if you are amicable and say we're out of it?
If you have an agreement, put it in writing. Talk about everything. Definitely get legal advice before that. But if you have the agreement in writing, then there's a little bit less back and forth. And the quickest you can get divorced in Arizona is 60 days. So it does take some time.
But does that mean you have all your I's dotted and your T's crossed?
Yes.
Okay. So you really have to be ready to go.
Yes.
And why is it 60 days?
It's just a mandatory waiting period in Arizona.
In case you change your mind.
Exactly.
Yep. Okay. So you file the paperwork and then you have to wait the mandatory 60 days in our state.
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody has to wait that 60 days.
Should you get an attorney? Can you do it on your own? I know you can go to the law library, you can do some research, you have AI.
Yes.
Now, we were just talking about AI. Let's ask AI how to file for divorce.
I do think you can do it on your own. And if you're coming in with all of your ducks in a row and the paperwork already signed, then you can probably do it yourself. I think when there's more difficult issues like a business or children, that's kind of when you probably should get an attorney.
Yeah. What are some of the things when you have been in this business for a while and you've probably seen, I'm sure, lots of crazy things. What are some of maybe the top 2 or 3 things that people need to know about divorce that maybe that people find interesting or shocking or that they didn't know?
If you want to keep your fees down, keep your questions, maybe save all of your questions and send them to the attorney once a week, maybe once a day. Because, this comes up and you send an email or a text message and the costs really go up. Also, really try, I know it's very difficult, but really try to be friendly with your soon-to-be ex, because that also drives the costs up. Those are probably my 2 biggest things that I see when things get really contentious.
Do you find an attorney before you tell your spouse? Or do you sit down and talk to your spouse and say, I'd like a divorce? Because maybe sometimes they're feeling the same way and you don't really realize it, and it might be easier and smoother than you think. Or do you get the attorney to get the advice first?
I think everybody's experience is different. And so it truly depends on the couple. I've done it all kinds of ways. And if you get a really good attorney, that attorney can help you figure out what the best way to do it is, or even a therapist.
Well, I was going to say, do you sometimes feel like a therapist in this line of work?
Quite a bit. I try to not cross that line, but it's a very emotional process. So.
No names, no specifics, but longest, craziest divorce proceeding you've had to deal with?
I had one that was, I think, about 5 or 6 years, and it's because it went up and down through the Court of Appeals, and then up to the Supreme Court.
Wow.
And they declined to hear it, but yeah.
Oh my God!
What does the Supreme Court need to decide about someone's divorce?
Well, we were arguing over a specific issue, and we got a ruling from the Court of Appeals, and the other side didn't like it, so they wanted to appeal to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said no.
Wow. Obviously, you represent your client, you work for your client, but is it hard for you when your client's like, no, I want this, and they're so adamant about it, but your gut is saying, I should advise otherwise? That's tough.
It really is, but I like to be very direct with people. Like, that's probably not going to be the outcome if you go to court. So let's think about some creative options. Like, what are your top 2 outcomes? Like, what is most important to you? Kind of try to reel them in. But yeah, it's very difficult when somebody is adamant, and that's probably not going to happen.
You ever send them out and say, no, go rethink this. Go rethink this before you come back.
There are cases that I will not take because, yes, I think, if people have just unrealistic expectations, and it would be very difficult. I don't want to set them up for failure or disappointment because there's only so much I can do. I'm just the lawyer. I can't change the law.
No, you are a lawyer. I wish I would have became a lawyer.
Do you have, this is just for my own personal line of questioning here. Do you have multiple clients that have had multiple divorces?
Oh.
Do you have repeat customers?
Now we want names.
They have a little punch card for your
repeat customer. Do you offer a discount for the second,
3
third, and
divorces
fourth?
Free.
Oh, that's great. Lindsey, how do people find you?
I have a website, Paradise Valley Family Law. Just Google me, or you can call my office is 480-498-3175.
Lindsey, thank you so much for coming in.
That's awesome. Good advice. Thank you.
We appreciate it. All right, we have our next guest, you guys. Here he is. This is James Dupré, and here he is on stage. And can you recognize that guy that was on the right? Randy Travis. How cool is this? And guess what? Mr. Randy Dupré, or rather, James Dupré, sorry, is joining us via Zoom here this morning.
He morphed the two of you. He morphed the two of you because you both have such amazing talents. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Tell us a little bit about your rise to where you are today.
Well, I've done quite a few different things. I've been on The Voice. I got a 4-chair turn on The Voice back in 2015. But I think one of the coolest things that I've ever had a chance to do was I was in a movie with Randy Travis, and that's how we first met. And it was amazing because I grew up, and he was like a hero of mine. Just one of the few country music vocalists that I actually just really admired, and to be working with him on a movie set was just incredible. But unfortunately, a few months after that is whenever he had the stroke, and we kept in touch through the years. And in 2019, he was like ready to get back out on the road again. He was tired of just staying home, and he missed his band. And so they came up with this idea for the tour, and they asked me if I would be willing to go out on the road with them and sing the songs. And it's been an absolute blast.
What was that like? Because you mentioned that you looked up to him kind of growing up, and then you are basically kind of tapped by him and his wife to say, hey, we want you to continue on and basically kind of be his voice, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, it was a huge honor to be asked. And I agreed immediately. And then I thought about it afterwards, and I was like, oh man, these are going to be big shoes to fill. What did I just get myself into? But it was it was just something that I felt that I was and this is exactly where I needed to be, and where I was supposed to be. And so I'm very thankful for the opportunity and for the honor. And it's just been so much fun.
And it's called the More Life Tour with Randy Travis. Tell us a little bit about the performance and what it's like with the two of you on stage.
Because you'll be here the 22nd.
Yeah, coming up here.
That's right. Yeah. So basically, I like to describe it as a live documentary with music. It's it's his number one hits with his original band. He's on stage the entire show. Him and his wife Mary are on stage. Sort of like a living room set up on the side of the stage, so they're enjoying the show as well. But there's also a lot of video involved. There's a lot of interviews and clips from movies and TV shows that he's done. And it kind of tells the story and the legacy of one of country music's biggest legends.
Yeah.
And yeah.
You have,
go
I was
ahead.
going to say, you have 5 children, yes?
Yes.
Will any of them be following in your footsteps performing?
My older sons, they have a band right now. They're, just kind of getting started. And I have a 6-year-old girl, Relly, who has been touring. Well, she started touring with me and Randy when she was only 3 weeks old.
Wow.
And so when she was 2 years old, she got on stage with me for the first time and did Deeper Than the Holler by Randy Travis. And since then, she's in first grade now, so she can't tour that much anymore, but she makes the show every now and then.
I say get her on the road.
I know.
Let's get her a contract.
Cool. Let's do it.
That is so cool. All right, so you are going to be here again the 22nd at the Orpheum Theater. What a cool job you have, and what a cool thing for Mr. Randy Travis to be able to kind of, I guess, still come out and tour in a totally different way. That must be really cool for audiences and for you.
It is. It's such a unique show, and so many people tell me we didn't know what to expect. Well, of course not. I mean, I understand that, but hopefully my description of kind of what the show is helps people to know what to expect. And also Randy influenced me heavily.
James, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but we have a hard break. But it was so nice to meet you. We're going to put all this info on our website. Have a great one, James.
Thank you.
Thank you. See y'all.
Well, I can tell you this much, Des.
Yeah.
They went ahead and I don't know if you hear me or not. There you go. They went ahead and reopened Snowbowl today.
I know.
And we were talking with them last hour, and they said for tomorrow, which will be the last day, tickets are starting as low as $12.
Isn't that incredible? And yesterday when we had the view of Snowbowl up, we were like, wait, how is skiing going to be possible today?
Yeah. And then we pulled up. Is this, I don't know, is 23, is that Snowbowl?
Yes, it is.
All right, let's go look right now. Ready? Here we go. Okay. Well, that was from earlier this morning.
About an hour ago?
Yeah. Not a lot of folks up there yet, but then it's a Tuesday. Or, Tuesday and Wednesday are going to be the two big days. So here you go.
But folks who called in to play hooky from work, they're glad that the camera view is this far away.
Yeah, for sure. Well, good for them. I mean, it's amazing with as hot as we got in March that we have one more day of skiing. But the cool thing was we were starting off with that first picture there from, I believe that's Kellogg, Idaho. So up in those mountains of northern Idaho, like outside of Coeur d'Alene and Spokane, I used to work in Spokane. Yeah. I mean, the snow can stick around till May.
Yeah. Oh, boy. That's too long. That is too long.
Says the Buffalo girl.
Yeah, I know. Right? Yeah, it could be snowing at my sister's birthday. That's how March 7th. So, yeah, it could have snow.
Okay, so that's a good way to take a look at it.
Yeah, sometimes she would have like a snowy birthday. And then one year it was really, really cold on my brother's birthday, which is coming up April 18th.
Ooh,
so
wow. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
4 days. Better buy it today and ship it tomorrow.
Yeah. But no, ship my love. I send it to you.
Right.
There you go.
Now, that would be a whole topic.
I love you, brother. But,
that would be the topic for someday, which is what do you get for brothers and sisters? You have one brother and one sister. And so I don't know if it's more, I bet you a lot of people are like, it's more just about hanging out. Just getting, maybe we go get a meal together or something like that.
Yeah, I would just love to be able to see them. Yeah, I mean, if I could. Quality time.
Yeah. Okay, so one of the things I do for my sister, every year I make her a new playlist.
Oh,
I make these playlists all the time, and I just happen to know all the songs that we grew up with back in the 70s, and so I'll make her a playlist of songs I know she's going to really fall in love
I actually appreciate that about you. It must be the DJ days coming out that you can appreciate different genres of music.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I like that about you, Ron.
Yeah.
Because I'll be like, I'll tell my husband, I listened to this amazing new song, and he's like, I don't like it. Because it's not what he likes,
I know, you got to be open-minded.
Open.
As a DJ, you always had to be open-minded. I don't think this will be a hit, and then it's number one for 10 weeks in a row. Hey, we want to give you an update here because there was a situation last night. As you can see, it's right about nightfall, and boy, you hate to see an image like this where a Phoenix police squad car, that one of those SUVs, was involved in a smash-up, and apparently this vehicle was coming at them or going the opposite way anyway. I don't mean to say that they were directly aiming for them, but somehow there was a kind of a head-on collision over there at about 7th Avenue and Indian School. And one of the officers' injuries was said to be serious, but thankfully not life-threatening. I think there was some concern early on when you saw how much damage was done.
Yeah, that was a pretty significant accident there that they had to clean up too. So
yeah, and you saw the other vehicle as well. Investigators say it just looked like the driver of the other car lost control and swerved out of the center lane. You never know when you're driving down 7th Avenue or Camelback or Signal Butte Road in Mesa, or Bell Road out in the Northwest Valley. You just always have to be, and I feel like it doesn't happen like it used to. You have to be a defensive driver. I feel like around here, it's mostly aggressive drivers. Am I wrong about that?
Yeah, there's a lot of aggression. Yeah, you have to stay on your toes. You have to stay vigilant. But sometimes you can never even predict. Things happen fast.
Yeah.
That was just unfortunate.
That's for sure. Okay, we're looking forward to an interview we have all lined up here. This is Neama Rahmani, who is with the West Coast Trial Lawyers Group, and he's able to kind of give us his take, Des, on lots of stories involving the law. Yeah. So, Neama, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Ron. Desiree, thanks for having me, as always.
Yeah, of course. Glad to see you back on.
Okay, let's talk about this birthright citizenship case that went before the Supreme Court. Of course, we're all waiting to see how it all comes down. The president had issued that, that order, but now that you've seen the case work its way all the way up through the court system, what's your take on it?
Well, Ron, I think it's going to be a loss for the president. And it was always a tough argument because when you're talking about the 14th Amendment, it says that individuals who are born in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are automatically United States citizens. Now, the Trump administration is arguing that that second part, subject to the jurisdiction thereof, does not apply to children who are born to individuals who are undocumented or who are in the country unlawfully. But based on the oral argument, I would be very surprised if the administration gets more than one, maybe two votes. I would say Justice Alito might be sympathetic, but even Justice Clarence Thomas, who's been pretty conservative, let's not forget, this amendment was passed after the Civil War to give citizenship to United States slaves, and he seems somewhat skeptical as well. I think the moderate bloc, Roberts, Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, Barrett, I think they will likely side with the liberals in striking down this executive order. And let's talk about the opposite. If it were granted, think potentially the millions of people it would affect. Now, the executive order just applies going forward. It's not retroactive, but that's not preventing the president or a future president from applying it retroactively if the Supreme Court were to side with the administration.
All right. And then the next case you're looking into, it's been making headlines for quite some time. We have this battle going on legally between Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni, a judge recently dismissing quite a few claims that Lively brought against Baldoni. What's the latest here?
So, Desiree, this is a huge win for Justin Baldoni, and I know Lively's team is trying to spin it as something less than it is, but under the law, there is a huge distinction between individuals who are employees and those who are independent contractors. And one of the distinctions and really one of the protections that an employee has is to be free from gender discrimination and sexual harassment. In this particular case, the New York judge ruled that Blake Lively was an independent contractor, so she is not entitled to those protections. So Baldoni's creepy voice note and the things that he said to her, they're not actionable. Now, there are a few claims remaining. Those relate to the smear campaign by Baldoni's team and the publicists and some breach of contract claims. But really, the vast majority of the most serious allegations were dismissed in this case. And really, the case now is significantly different from when it was originally filed. All of Baldoni's defamation claims, those are gone against Lively in the New York Times. But now Lively's employment claims are also gone. So I wouldn't be surprised if the case settles because there's really not much left to go to trial over.
But when it comes to following the law, what are maybe some takeaways? Say we have a lot of people watching that want to know, what are the guidelines? What are the parameters? In this day and age, maybe you can't even make a joke that somebody could take personally and be offended by it. What have you learned as you've kind of been studying it?
Well, you have to be very careful in the workplace, Ron. When you're talking about issues of gender or race, it's not the place for jokes, and that's why we talked about, in the employment context, there are a lot more protections. So if you're at a bar, you're out at a restaurant, you're with your friends, you're with your family, obviously you can be inappropriate and it's not necessarily unlawful. But in the workplace, especially when you're talking about a supervisor relationship, there are two types of sexual harassment. They're what we call quid pro quo. That's something for something. So if you go out on a date with me, I'm going to give you a raise, or if you don't, I'm going to punish you. That's the textbook quid pro quo. But there's also something that's called hostile work environment. People might have heard that. And that's a sexually charged environment. So even if you're not necessarily directing it at an individual, if you're talking about things that are inappropriate, especially as it relates to gender issues, you can be sued. We talked about the music from the 70s. This isn't the 70s or even the 80s anymore. So I caution everyone to be very careful when they're dealing in the employment context, especially when it comes to those issues.
We have a couple other topics we want to ask you about. I'm going to try to get one in real quick before the break. Are you able to stick around for about 5 more minutes after the break as well?
Yes, I can stay.
Good. Because the Eric Swalwell story seems to be getting bigger by the hour. But let's save that for just a moment. This story out of the Bahamas and a lot of people may not have really even tuned into it yet, but there's a man he and his wife went to the Bahamas on a vacay. She's gone missing. He was taken into custody, but you can see, there she is right there. You can see he was released last night, and I believe is leaving or already has left the Bahamas to come back to the U.S. What have you been able to kind of piece together in this case?
Well, in this case, you have Brian and Lynette Hooker, who were sailors of sorts, and they were living on a boat. And Lynette reportedly or allegedly, fell overboard and can't be found. Now, in these types of cases, and I prosecuted many cases, I can tell you, if something happens to me, my wife's going to be the number one suspect. So obviously, in this case, you have Hooker, who was interviewed by law enforcement there in the Bahamas. They didn't have enough evidence to arrest him and to charge him, so he's being released right now. Now, a lot of folks were watching, whether they're following this on social media or even traditional media, do believe that he is somehow connected to her death. Obviously, we don't have enough evidence yet to prove that. So right now it's just allegations and speculation. So for now, he's free to go, but it's probably not the end of the story.
Okay. Let's take that break. We do a thing around here called the Mystery Cam. We're popping up a live pic right now. Everybody on YouTube can give us your guesses as to where you think this is. And then, Des, I think it'll be really interesting. As we say, there are like new headlines now coming out every few hours on the Eric Swalwell case. So we'll get some more from him on that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that coming up. Get your guesses in for now.
right. Everybody's still talking about some of these criminal cases that we have been exploring, Des, with our guest, Neama Rahmani. But, hey, we got to just take 1 minute here to try to figure out where this mystery cam is.
This is a good one. It looks a little gloomy, right?
Yeah, it does.
Very cloud covered.
Sure. Kind of like yesterday was around here. All those I liked all those clouds.
Yeah, it was nice. We'll take it anytime. I'm going to go somewhere in Tennessee.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, let's see. The only guess I see so far is Lil Philosophy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lil. And Lil Philosophy is going Texas. It's all these brand new apartment buildings. I feel like the 6-story block-style apartment building is like the look of the 2020s. I mean, we've seen dozens, if not hundreds of those being built here in the Metro Phoenix area. And so I guess I'll go Texas. I mean, Lil, it's frequently a good move to go with Lil Philosophy. So, ladies and gentlemen, here she is with the answer.
It is. Oh, Champaign, Illinois.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
That's what Champaign looks like, huh? Never been there.
Me either.
Cool. Well, big college town. We know that. Hey, we're continuing our discussion now with one of the more prominent attorneys that you might see on TV every so often. He's with West Coast Trial Lawyers. It's Neama Rahmani. And before we get into the specifics on the Swalwell case, and now we learn it's not just politics involved, but apparently there is a criminal investigation. One of his accusers, I think her name is Lana Dewis, spoke just a little earlier this morning, and I'm going to play a clip of what it was that she... Do we have that clip? Okay, yeah, we don't have that yet, but we'll look around for it. Anyway, go ahead and give us, if you would, your take on that one.
Well, certainly the political fallout has been far and wide. And here's someone that has now not only resigned from Congress, and I'm not in our Phoenix office today. I'm actually sitting here in Los Angeles, where it's a big deal. He was leading the California governor's race. So big, political earthquake here in California, no pun intended. But now things are going to get potentially much worse. We talked about sexual harassment and civil liability. You can be sued, and some of these individuals were congressional aides, and if he was inappropriate with them. But obviously the most serious type of case is a criminal case, and there are now accusations that Swalwell drugged and raped at least one woman, but maybe more. So you have the Manhattan District Attorney's Office to open an investigation. You had a presser recently, again here in Los Angeles, where a victim made similar allegations that she is going to go to law enforcement here in Los Angeles, where I'm sitting. So this may be a tremendous and very quick fall from grace for Swalwell if these allegations are indeed true.
By the way, here's a little more of what was being said regarding some of those accusations. Let's listen.
I cried all the time for years. At the time, I was in a dating relationship with a boyfriend I was fully committed to. I've never cheated in my life, and I would never have engaged in a consensual sexual encounter with Eric Swalwell. My delay in taking action against Eric was driven by fear, not doubt. Fear of his political power, his background as an attorney, and his family law enforcement ties.
So then the question becomes, how difficult is it to prosecute a case like this that goes back some length of time, and if you don't have any physical evidence?
Ron, it can be hard, and obviously I understand the psychology of abuse. I've prosecuted many sexual assault cases, and now I represent victims of sexual assault. And, one of the questions that jurors ask is, why didn't you report it? And when there is no contemporaneous report and the allegations are raised years later, it can be hard to prosecute. But when there are multiple victims and they're telling the same story of physical or sexual violence, it can help overcome those types of gaps or delays in reporting. Because, of course, we know that sexual assault and rape is one of the most underreported crimes, and a very small percentage of perpetrators, less than 10%, are ever brought to criminal justice. And obviously, I don't know what happened here, and Swalwell could be innocent, or he could be a convicted rapist in a short order. But when there are multiple victims and they do come forward, that does tend to help these types of cases. Obviously, there does appear to be some digital evidence, some Snapchat, some DMs. What's been reported so far by the media seems to be more evidence of inappropriate behavior, someone that maybe had an extramarital affair. The big issue here is, one, did the sexual activity happen? And two, if it did, was there consent or not?
Mm-hmm. And in your experience in being involved in cases like this, there are some reports. Obviously, he kind of initially came out and said that all of the accusations were false, but then also apologized for his, quote, mistakes in judgment and mistakes that he's made. Does that help or hurt him in a case like this?
I think it potentially hurts, but really when you're talking about defending these cases, and if you're a civil lawyer or a criminal defense lawyer, really there's one of two defenses in most sexual assault cases. It wasn't me, or the sexual contact didn't happen, or two, it did, but it was consensual. If Swalwell and his lawyers are essentially saying or conceding that it did happen, then it really comes to the issue of consent, and the defense will be that it's consensual. And as we saw in the Sean Diddy Combs case, adults can consent to any sexual activity, even if there's drugs involved, potentially, as long as they are making a knowing decision while not under the influence of drugs.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we're going to watch that one really closely. There are many tentacles to that one. And it's only going to get bigger from here. Hey, we really appreciate your time. Hope we can call on you again sometime.
Yeah. Thank you, Neama.
Of course, Ron, Desiree, thanks for having me on as always, and hope to be on and see you guys again real soon.
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely. Have a good day.
Hey, we had a story a little earlier this morning that piqued my interest, and what do you know? It piqued Dez's interest as well. It has to do with fluoride. So there's a new study suggesting that fluoride in drinking water has no effect on your brain function or your overall level of intelligence. So researchers found no difference between those who drank fluoride in water growing up and those who did not. They say the findings align with the belief of some public health groups who advocate for fluoride in water to fight against cavities and tooth decay. What do you think?
Well, initially when we aired this story this morning, my honest initial thought was, well, who thought drinking water with fluoride in it was going to make them smarter? Whoever made that correlation to begin with.
Right.
But I had always heard some fluoride in your drinking water. Oh, it'll help your teeth. But also, does it really, is there enough of it?
Correct. Yeah. I operate, I feel like, Des, at about maybe a 8th grade level, maybe 9th grade if I'm feeling smart. But I'm pretty sure the town I grew up in, we had fluoride in our water. So who knows?
Yeah.
Apparently they're able to put the controversy to rest once and for all.
Yep. There you go. So it does not affect your intelligence or your brain function. I never thought it did.
If you want to improve your brain function, try learning 5 new words before that you never knew, and then incorporate them into your daily
vocabulary
activities. Do you think that would be possibly a good way to go?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Or read more. Right?
Yes,
That'll
absolutely, right?
Mm-hmm.
How about spend a little time with us, catch up on the news?
Yeah, watch Fox 10 Talks. You're right on.
Thank you very much. Big D like that one. Did you see that cheer we got out of him right there?
Always watch Fox 10 Talks. Make it part of your daily schedule.
Yeah.
For sure. Hey, by the way, there's a big concert coming tonight. Let's talk about it. By the way, I think we're going to invite Isabella to come join us here. But as we do, let's talk about this show tonight in Glendale. Bruno Mars. I think I heard this is only the second stop on his nationwide, if not worldwide, tour. And so people are really going to get a chance. He was just in Vegas, right? That was stop number one?
He opened in Vegas. It was a huge sold-out show.
Yeah.
Just watching, our colleague was there, Ellen McNamara, went with her family. From her videos alone, there was no room in that place. Every single seat was sold. And then both of his shows here in Phoenix, tonight and tomorrow, sold out.
But Bella, would you spend? Because didn't we find out, Des, that there are resale tickets on the market for way over $1,000?
Yes, there was a section on the floor. Some tickets were like $5,600, and then I looked just for the heck of it to see. Oh, can you sit in the nosebleeds? Like your back up against the wall.
Couple
the
$100.
cheapest ticket was like $163 when we looked like this morning. So just insane.
Well, how much is too much?
I don't know, but I'm going.
$163 to
You
sit
are
in the nosebleed.
going?
Yeah.
You are?
I'll tell you guys
so
about
you
it
jumped
tomorrow.
on. Oh. So you got your ticket early then. You planned for this.
We got our tickets this morning. So
Online?
Dare I ask? How much
Give us
did
a
you
range.
spend?
About how much did you spend? Come on.
300.
200?
300.
300? Okay.
Okay.
Well, you
I
know
mean,
what?
if it's someone you really want to see.
When everybody was talking about $5,000 tickets, I'm
I
like,
wouldn't spend
this
that to
is
see anybody.
nuts. I paid $275 to see Elton John 3 years ago at the
Okay.
Chase Field. I said I'd never spend that kind of money again. And then the Eagles came to town. It was $400.
Oh.
But I don't think I'll spend that again. But wow.
So, okay. You've listened to The Romantic then, right? The whole album?
It's been a while, so I have a lot of song listening to catch up to.
Yeah. Okay. So on your drive out there, you have to listen to the new album.
I will.
I rarely, I think I said this morning, I rarely ever hear a song the first time and like it. Every single song on his album is so good.
Good.
But
So you
they're
have
like
a favorite
25
that I need to
songs,
listen
right?
to?
There's 9 songs on his latest album, The Romantic.
the
So it's
set.
short. Yeah.
That's what I heard. The set
set
tonight
is
is going to be 25 songs long. Wow. So pack your patience.
I will. I'll be ready.
You know what? It better be worth that $300. Better be a nice long show.
Wow, yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's so fun. Yeah. Can you just take me in your pocket?
If we can work out a
Sneak
way.
me in your back pocket.
Yeah. Well, okay, so we'll watch for you on social media. I'm sure you'll be posting
Yeah,
about
I'll
it,
put some
right?
stuff on my story.
Please do. I'm going to
will.
be sitting with my kids watching your stories tonight.
I
I'll be
know
like, this is for Des.
I know it's only April, but this could be the concert of the year here in the